Hi everyone, and welcome to a super late edition of Frugal Latina. First of all, I want to say hi and welcome to all of my new subscribers. It is wonderful to have you. I am already almost at 50 subscribers. This is so wild, and I want to reintroduce myself. So, my name is Frugal Latina, aka Becca. As of September 2025, I had just started my new role. A little background about me: I've spent about 6 years in the game industry. 3 of which was also in the tech industry. I've worked at some major companies as a contractor, such as Google, Facebook, Oculus, Amazon, just to name a few. So my background is in tech, but that does not mean I made tech money at the time. I think, a couple of years ago, I think I maxed out at like 60K, which was, living in a big city like Seattle is not easy. But I'm blessed. I'm grateful because now I am at a pretty decent paying job. And I am here for the people somewhere in between, the people that are just getting on their feet. I learned a new terminology the other day from a friend of mine who works in finance called Henry. So high earner, not rich yet. And I'm like, oh my God, that's it. So, there are an array of incredible cash stuffers from people that are low income. Been there, done that. 5 years ago, was living in low income housing before I lived in my 1-bedroom apartment. So while it is just me on this income, as in like I don't have kiddos and I don't have a husband, that does not mean that things are just inherently cheaper. So that being said, hello and welcome. I'm here for the people who are getting on their feet or are climbing out of the mud. Believe me, I understand it. And I'm so blessed to have you. I love being part of this cash budgeting community. It's just so cool and kind and nice because everyone has a story. And my story is that I am paying off debt so I can buy a tiny house. Quick update in case you haven't watched my last 2 videos. I am almost halfway to my first milestone, which is 5K. I would love to put it down a deposit down with that amount, but I know it's going to be a little bit more of a stretch. I'm trying to get at least 10K by December. That's my goal. That's what I'm sticking with. So anyway, what we are here for, and thank you for that long-winded talk. What we're here for is to talk about midday check-in. How am I doing? And I knew that summertime is a time where Becca wilds out a little bit. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about how I prepared for it some. So I did make a valiant attempt to save half for rent. What I forgot to account for was the fact that I still had one last payment for Capital One. My credit score, big update, my credit score went from like 620 to 663. So I have been credit cycling where spend a little bit of money on my Capital One card, then immediately pay it off. But the total for that was 415. So that like cuts the amount I was using for rent in half. But this way, I still don't have any consumer debt as of right now. So Capital One is paid off, Nordstrom is paid off, and I don't have any other credit cards besides those, which is a really good feeling considering beginning of this year I had 8K in debt. Okay, so Hulu came out, MetLife just came out, Adobe came out, and Adobe, I need to just admit to myself, I still haven't, I'm not perfect. I still haven't removed Substance Painter, and I kind of don't want to because I do want to get back into my 3D art work. I'm working on it. I am a work in progress. Universe is still working on me. Google came out today, 2:20. Today, by the way, when I say that, is Thursday the 15th. She is late. My phone bill is $115 next paycheck, so we're gonna filter that. And my light bill actually is only $110 for the month of April, so go me. All right, this is the part where it's not so cute. Groceries was $214. Gas was a little bit cheaper. Gas, I've been finding a really funky cadence with, where I feel like I'm fueling every other week. Truthfully, when I look back at my expenses, gas usually comes out to just $40 a month. Out of a precaution, because I know that summertime is a time I travel a whole bunch, is why I put double that amount. Diana's food came out to $50. Fun kind of got lumped in with some of the other stuff, so fun was definitely spent. Eating out got like $44 or so. I went out. Okay, I ate out. I rarely ate out, but given that I had met my milestone, I had bought the expensive Chinese food. It's the first time I've had Chinese food I did not cook in damn near 2 years, so I'm gonna take it. House was $10, and the funny thing about it is I bought a new pack of trash bags. Can't find them. I have no. This is not a very big apartment, and I cannot find them. So I am unfortunately going to need to buy another bag, because I was deep cleaning, and I think that I hope I didn't throw them out. But art, I did spend 18, 15, 7. What was that for? Stickers? I bet it was stickers. Beauty was spent. I ended up getting some hair ties because I got thick, wavy hair. Spending, I did lump. Spending was $48, and tiny house I did bump up tiny house. I think that's where that I'm losing that $200 is coming from, but it was worth it because I got to see that milestone. Savings, as you might have seen, was $140, and then emergency fund was $100. So I already know that the beginning of the month is typically when I spend the most. And also with this what do you call it? Budgeting planner, don't ever get it. If it looks like this one, it just, I know I beat these things up, but it has this stupid coil here. This is why I don't get those like circular disc type budget planners, because I know I use these things, you know what I mean? So, anti-puzzles. As you have seen, I went out, honey. Took some friends to Bahama Breeze, ate some dim sum. It was a time, and I got everything that I needed. So, zero complaints. Zero complaints. Meeting my goal was tremendous, and I have been sort of looking back at financial goals for the year and how close I am. So emergency fund is also almost at $500. I do want to get Diana's pet emergency fund started up after emergency fund. We'll work on that, but the point is to have an emergency fund and let that interest grow. So there are other savings challenges that are also going to emergency fund. It is not something I've forgotten, but tentatively, in case things change, this is what my 23rd paycheck is looking like. Rent is getting $17.50. Typically rent is $17.40. However, I pay the $9.99 for it just to come out of debit and just be immediately gone from my account. Groceries, I'm going to hold firm at $200 because I haven't seen anything noticeably go up except for maybe like meats and cheeses. Gas is going to stay at $40. Diana is going to stay at $47. Fun, I'm still factoring the fun. Remember, that is still important. $20 for eating out, house for $10, art for $5, and beauty for $5. Truthfully, I might send fun to close because the truth of the matter is I am going back to the gym, and I need socks, you guys. I need socks. I need good shoes because the plastic in the heel is coming out of my shoes. You don't need to know that, but like When I tell you I wear my clothes and shoes until they're out, like clothing, I love shop. Okay, I'm a Nordstrom girl, first and foremost. And even while I worked at Nordstrom, have I ever really been able to shop at Nordstrom? No, but I like nice clothing. And one promise to myself is not to do fast fashion, because plastic, polyurethane, all that stuff makes my skin really itchy. So having nice clothes is important to me. It's not a need. I suck at budgeting for it and I'm trying, okay? Even I can't read that, girl. What's happening? Student half oh geez. Okay. Tiny house is going to get 200. I can read that. Savings is going to get 118 and emergency fund is getting 50. Okay. The truth about student loans. I have no idea what the hell is going on. AES sent American Education Services sent my loans to a auditor. I've called creditor, because I hadn't paid in like a month and a half. It would come out and it would bounce back. I am not perfect. I called this person, so I called this company so I could get it sorted and start making payments and stuff. Nothing. There's been no communication. And then also, to add insult to injury, I also saw a ding on my credit saying that my account was in default. So like, which is it? Like, who's gonna let me pay for this? Because I have less than 10K left in student loans, and I would love to see that gone by next year. It might hurt my credit, but it is what it is. Rent, like we said, rent $17.50. Gym is going to be $35, and then the other half of the light is going to be $81. I might have to bump this up because some of the 1 month aheads didn't turn out like I thought it would, but that is okay. So as we somehow, some way, we are looking to wrap up May fairly quickly, but my goals for May was to get at least $3,500 in the bank for tiny house. And one of my strategies is to just do as much overtime as I can. However, I did start a Ko-Fi. I am outside of this platform, not only am I in tech, but I'm also a digital artist. And while I may not, just due to costs, I may not be able to print out and then ship anything out to you, I am going to start putting out digital products for you to purchase, like savings challenges and stuff. That might be fun. Obviously, all, rights to me, because I do not intend on using AI for any of the savings challenges that I create. And that is my stance on that as a artist. I've seen so much of it here in the budgeting community, and don't worry, I won't get on my platform. I know this is a legitimate way for a lot of stay-at-home moms to be able to start a business. That being said, all of my products, I'm not going to be utilizing AI for it, except for obviously like the ChatGPT for the title descriptions. If that is something that's not in alignment with you, I understand, and that's okay. But that is what May is looking like. We are pushing towards more milestones. We're on track. We are going outside. That's the important part. That's what's going to help with all of this. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And that is all for today. If you are not subscribed already, please consider doing so. I am trying to push beyond Finance 101, but again, not a financial advisor, just someone who was able to pick themselves out of a rut. Anyhow, I will see you in the next video. Adios.